everybody, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tanya, a doctor, lawyer turned homeschool mom of 3 kids ages 11, 8, and 6. It's easy to stumble over that sometimes because they still leave everything everywhere and you think they're younger. But in any case, if you are interested in videos about secular homeschooling, raising a child with ADHD, and living a more essentialist life, you have come to the right place. So be sure to subscribe down below if you're watching this on YouTube and to hit that follow button if you are on Instagram. Today I am sharing with you my February homeschool update. We are planning to do this every single month. And by we, I mean my good friends Arlene over at Arlene & Company, Shannon over at The Hip Home Life, Amy at Renegade Homeschool, and Kelly over at Homeschool by the Beach. I will link all of their information down below. They are some of the best homeschool moms I know. So if you are interested in getting lots of inspiration, particularly in the secular homeschooling arena, be sure to check out their channels and go give them a follow on Instagram. First up, I just want to show you my homeschool bullet journal. It's been going really, really well. I think I'm going to stick with this. I had a feeling I would, and I am going to. I'm not the most artistic of people, so in general, I have printed out different things that we do, like temperature trees or my schedule and things like that I've created myself on Google Docs. I've just pasted them out on sticker paper and stuck them in. Sometimes I've put these tissue paper overlays just to make the pages a little bit prettier. I put in reading lists from their various curricula highlighted as we go along. I put in a whole bunch of information about our daily schedules, the different curricula the different kids are using. So all of that information is just here for me. I'll put in little stickers and things from our Universal Yum boxes so that we can track it. I have a couple of straight up pages here with a calendar of events that we've participated in. This vision of our term is from Anna Vance Paper Co. from her Etsy shop a long time ago. And basically I just put in different things like the poets, composers, artists that we are listening to, what we've watched, how we've played, the reading list for each of the children, and then us together. I'll put in different calendars we use, like our nature study calendar as well as our Squilt music calendar. And then I have all the weeks labeled out 1 through whatever. This takes 2 seconds to set up at the beginning of the week. And I have it separated out by child, and basically I just write down conceptually what are they doing. So instead of recording what kind of workbooks they're using or something, I might say, so-and-so worked on cursive, so-and-so is studying about colonial America, so-and-so learned what a rhombus was, etc. So basically it's notations on what they're doing rather than what exactly they did page-wise. And I think that's just a better way of record keeping. This is how I record our progress in various curricula. So I have it all listed out, and if I don't list every page, I'll just skip by tens or something like that, so you can see this little grid format here. But here I list the curricula, and then I have the pages or the chapters or the sections, and we just highlight as we go along. At the very end of this, I put in some shared curricula as well as some things that are helpful to us, like the Moon Club activities and what I have to be doing. I use a little bookmark. I love Mama. I list out some of the morning reads here and stuff. I want to be more intentional about my art teaching this year, so I have picked up a book that I've had for a long time from Evan-Moor called Teach Art to Children. I am an affiliate for Evan-Moor. My link is in my bio if you guys are interested in this. I really like this book. It's printed on this really glossy paper. It seems very elementary at the beginning, but I like that every week has an artistic concept and a simple project that you can pull together from things that you have on hand. So basically, I want to progress through this book this year and just get through these projects, just have a good time learning some of the fundamentals. Every day of the week we have a different theme sort of for our anytime basket or our morning basket. One day a week it's art, and when we do that we do the art sticker book by Osborne. I love Osborne sticker books. I think they're really well done. I think they're really fun. So this one categorizes different paintings by category, and you can see at the top there they'll have like animals and children, saints, different concepts. Some of them are just like color, and use of color. And if we study the painting separately, we go ahead and look at the art sticker book and pop it in there. And when I say if we study it separately, I mean that we're going through the Osborne Book of Famous Paintings. I leave this book open to the painting we're studying that week on like a book stand, so they get to study the painting. I follow the Charlotte Mason style of like the painting analysis where they get to look at the painting for a little bit and then we close the book and they tell me details about the painting. It's just a 1-page explanation about the painting. It explores little details in the painting, the style, a little bit of the history of the painter. I think this is the perfect like light painting exploration book if you want to talk about the painters and stuff like that. We have more in-depth books about each of these individual painters. I haven't really gotten to that point in our homeschool yet where we do like an in-depth study of a painter. I think I might save that for a couple of years, honestly. Right now in our homeschool, this style seems to work better. Another book we do on the art day is the Usborne art book about color. I really like this book because I learn a lot. It's very simple. It does show you a lot of famous paintings already. And I like that there's crossover between the Usborne books and the sticker book because it's all Usborne. So they often get a chance to put one of the stickers down. I really like this book because it talks about different uses of color, different styles of color. When the book opens, it even talks about different types of paint and how they were made. So it's a really nice correlation book with like an introduction to prehistoric history. So moving along, this is the spelling book we have. I don't use the Spelling Plus book, I just use the list. And if you can see here at the top, I have little flaggies with each of the kids' initials. And they're all at a different point in this book. Once a week or so, we do like a spelling test. The way I do this is very, very simple. I hand over the book to them, they read their list for a little bit, and then later on in the day, I just do the spelling test for them. If they know the word, yay. If they don't know the word, we add it to the spelling list for next week and just keep marching along. We do use the 180 Days books by Shell Education for spelling and word study. I have mixed feelings about those. I'll do reviews on those at the end of the year. I think there's a lot of merit to learning spelling that way. By the same token, I happen to have a few really strong spellers, like my 2 older kids are pretty strong spellers, and I just don't feel like we need to devote that much attention to it since they're already pretty good at it. One of the things that I've had on my shelf for a very, very long time is the Michael Clay Thompson Grammar Island series. Now, I bought this used. A homeschool mom was selling it, I think, in my second year of homeschooling, and I thought, like, I've heard great things about this. I'd actually heard Michael Clay Thompson talk, and I loved his style of teaching. I loved his approach to English, and so I thought I would pick this up. If you haven't looked inside the Grammar Island books or any of the Michael Clay Thompson books, they are deceptively simple, I would say, at the beginning. The way they build upon a story in order to teach grammatical concepts is very unique, I would say, in the language arts market. Now, I have been a little bit afraid to use these for a while just because they seemed a little loosey-goosey. I couldn't quite figure out how I was going to incorporate it. I actually like worksheets in my homeschool. I think that there's a lot of value in repetition, but I actually love this. I think that it introduces the concepts in a really understandable way. And so since I have a rising kindergarten first grader, I'm basically doing this as a part of morning time for everybody. So even my 11-year-old is listening in as we do this. He doesn't answer a lot of the questions at this level because he knows most of it, but it's been a really nice, like just easy incorporation of grammatical concepts, I think, to a morning time routine. In terms of science, we found this book again. This is the Spring and Summer North Carolina Forest. We have a fall and winter as well. This is published by Rod and Staff Publishing, and it is really quite Christian, like super Christian, in the sense that you have things on almost every single page referring to God or Christ or something. And I have a very simple solution to this. So wherever I encounter long speeches about something that we don't necessarily believe in, I simply take whiteout to it. So you will notice, like, here's some whiteout. There's whiteout on almost every page, but I just white out those sentences or paragraphs. It's not scattered everywhere. I just did a line-by-line read of it. It's a really nice read. That's the thing. It teaches you a lot about the fauna and flora in North Carolina. I'm not sure if they have these for other states, but I can't imagine why not. And I just love them. But yeah, I found no issue with just whiting out what we don't believe in, just to make my reading life easier for them. I actually really like all these little illustrations they have on the side, because it's a good example of how you can draw this with like pen and ink. And so as I'm reading, a lot of the kids will try to draw some of these pictures and stuff, especially the easier ones. So I'm a big fan. Almost every morning we like to do a few readings or a few like poems or something about spirit training and just about how we can get along with each other, how we can move through the world in a better way. Some of my very favorite books for doing this are this series by Joy Wilt, and this is the Ready, Set, Grow series. So you can see the list of all of these different books here. I have almost all of them, I think. Every single week, someone else gets to choose what the book of the week will be from the Joy Wilt series, and we just keep cycling through them. So this one is May I, Please, and Thank You. The last one we did was How to Survive Sibling Discussions and Sibling Fights. And they just do a really good job of talking about how there might be bad behavior and there might be bad moments and you might get pushed by your sibling or you might break their toy, and these things happen. You don't have to be a perfect person, but you do need to understand that everyone is coming from it from a different angle. Everyone's reality isn't the same as your reality, that we have to learn how to get along and learn how not to push each other's buttons and not take things too personally. And, you know, being imperfect is a normal part of life, but I think we can all agree that we can all do better at interacting with each other. So this is another book that I've been using, and these are the lesson plans from the Big Life Journal. I am a Big Life Journal affiliate as well, but I actually really like how well these are put together. These are designed to go and correlate with the Big Life Journal that you can use with your children. And it also correlates really neatly with all of their podcast episodes, which are free. So if you haven't downloaded the Big Life Journal podcast yet, I really do recommend it. It's a nice listen in the car. The lesson plans, which are designed kind of like for a classroom. They have different types of learning styles addressed. One of the things I like best about this is that they list out lots of different videos with hyperlinks that you can look at. So here, there was a story about someone in Australia, so there's lots of videos about Australia. There's art, crafts, and videos for drawing and things like that. There's also a book list that they offer, so you can take that right to the library, or just, it's been really good to just have a nice, straightforward guide to follow the podcast episodes so that we can make it a more enriching experience. Last but not least, I wanted to show you this thing, and this is a A-line book. It has 24 little flappy things in here, and it holds 48 pages if you do back and front. I wanted to get these because I want to start doing our memory work program in earnest. That's the one that I am formulating myself. I know I've been promising that I'm going to release this for a very long time, but I am. Stay tuned for it, because basically it is a memory work program that is designed to be used by both morning basket lovers as well as classical homeschoolers. If you don't want to memorize the facts, you don't have to, but if you do, there is set facts every week that progress through history from the Big Bang all the way to iPhones over the course of 4 years. So that will be coming out soon, and as we use it in our own homeschool, I wanted to have little menus kind of for each of these kids, but I wanted to have more pages than the typical menu offers, because my memory work program has 7 pages for the week. And then I also wanted to put in like any poems that they're working on, any charts for math that might be helpful to them, etc., just so they can have a little like reference binder of their very own, you know. So for our memory work, that'll be changed out in there, but also for things that they can keep in there for a long time, like little grammar rules, etc. A lot of people asked me with the last homeschool update video why I was not using the SCI program for science. I am using the Scientific Connections of Inquiry program. I'm just layering it in because for me, since my kids are all at different levels in terms of ability for retention and even like motor skills, that curriculum seemed to be on par for, I would say, like my 2 older kids, but not really my youngest. So that's why I decided to go with RSO Life Level 1 as their core for the younger 2, and then the Bio 2 as the core for my eldest, because it's actually what is prescribed in the Build Your Library Level 5, just to keep my life simple. And then we layer in the Sci 3, which actually neatly dovetails with Bio 2 because it has so much microscope study in it. As far as the other curriculum that we're using, I mean, Hewitt is still like a core part of our day. We love it. I think it's so well done. For writing, again, for expository writing for my son, I am peppering in the Style and Structure by IEW Level A for him. And I will talk more about that as we get more practice with it, but I will be doing a review of it probably in March. So stay tuned for that. That is our homeschool update. Things have been going pretty well. I'm trying to really put an emphasis on staying on track with our history and our science, which are 2 things that we have typically let slide in the past. I think everybody was really happy with the reset, and I'm just much happier knowing that we're not so far behind, we're actually a little bit ahead. So that little mental shift of restarting our school year was really, really good for me. I would love to know how your homeschools have been going, and don't forget to check out my friends' videos. I will link them all in the description box down below, as I mentioned. As always, you guys, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to check out my videos down below, and I wish you the very best day.